sisters and brothers come to venerate her as their Separima, and they do it. The people of the roots of our country, we celebrate. And in the final point, we all eat the same food. And therefore we must celebrate our ecumenism in our own way. Celebrate Christmas, celebrate Easter, celebrate other times. Our patronal traditions, patron parish festivals, both Catholic and Anglican and Methodist. Leave the bishops to meet, and they should meet with the Methodist circuits and the Moravian circuits. Let them meet the big boys. We, the people of God, at parish level and community level, let us celebrate. And we're not going down Independence Square. We're not on more cricket roads to see the crash.
Thank you. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. The point of ecumenism, and I don't know if it was emphasized, what is the basis of this ecumenism? And I want to take it back to something I think one of the speakers mentioned, community. Community in terms of networking and networking for mission. Because that's the church's purpose, for mission. And therefore, as I think Dr. Johnson says, we're doing this program project, so we build a church here, we do a little Christmas something here, and we do another thing there, and that's the end of it. And we have not looked at the fact that the ecumenical movement can move forward if we network within communities. If you understand the concept of Trinity, as Dr. Rock pointed out, if you understand that there is a purpose in terms of all the social fallout that we are now experiencing, and HIV/AIDS, teenage pregnancy, the rest of it, that we can network to address these issues as church, not as denomination, but as church within communities. And then we will understand the significance and the importance of ecumenism, because it will then be not who is invading whose space, but is being used as a facilitator of mission, not conversion, not membership making, but mission. Thank you very much.
I would like to bring down the discussion down to a ground level as low as possible. Whenever I hear the word ecumenism, I think about Santa Claus. Santa Claus is common with everybody, all groups, almost all religions here in Trinidad. And it seems as though that is an accomplishment in itself as far as the Methodist is concerned. Now, we leave our homes every Sunday morning to go to church. For what purpose? In that we are trying to obtain salvation in Him. That's the main thing. Well, some of us are Anglicans, some are Presbyterians, some are Roman Catholics, and this and that. But mainly, as Christians, we're trying to obtain salvation in heaven. That is the end aim. That we're really focusing on. But then we are told that you will get there by being an Anglican, you can get there by being a Roman Catholic, or by being a Presbyterian and Methodist. Then the communities now should all come together. No, that cannot use the people, right? So that I would like to say that yes, we'll come together when we come on ground. Now, usually when Christians come together, it's because there's this evil power trying to annihilate the church. And the church says, oh gosh, there'll be reproduction of teeth. Let's come together and fight against this force. But I ain't seen nobody trying to annihilate the Christian church in the Caribbean, but we get together. But maybe because there is not that fight or push, that it isn't going anywhere, as copycats. Okay?
Worry not. Remember that ancient mystery about the Messiah Day, where they want to scare us into believing. Remember the same missionaries some of them wanted to baptize those who were enslaved. Notice I said those who were enslaved and not the slaves, because that is a new way of understanding. But the colonists didn't want them to baptize, else those who had been enslaved would have been seen as equal. So you always have to analyze, you always have to understand. And the problem, not the problem, but the solution here, my brother, is that we must understand the new Caribbean contribution to the world is that we may all be one in love, and not in our divisiveness or our differences, but the things that are common. Yes. This is the final thing.
I've taken what I'd like to say. As I was listening to all the contributions and as I mentioned to some of the responses, it took me back to Form 6 at Seminary's College, which I'm sure we all know is a Roman Catholic institution, which I attended as a Church of Scotland Presbyterian and became an Anglican priest. So you're going to be sensing where I'm coming from. I did English literature, and one of the books I had to study was a book by T.S. Eliot. He is one of the more modern poets who took the bold step of moving poetry away from bubbling brooks and happy veils and this sort of thing. And I hope I'm quoting him correctly. Between the vision and the reality falls the shadow. And the speakers, I know that so many wonderful things that will be done. And I'm sure that they will be done because those who participated saw areas of unity. And I have no doubt that they stopped when they saw the areas that it would be necessary or possibly necessary to give up in order to continue. We are all many denominations, but we believe in one Jesus. And I think this is the theme of all the lectures that we will this evening, and the subject of all our responses to the lecture. We believe in Jesus. We believe in the community that Jesus died to set up. We believe and we acknowledge that prayer that he accomplished by his death, that all be one as he and the Father are one. But we are afraid of the things that we want to hold on to. We are afraid of what we may have to give up if unity will be truly accomplished. It's wonderful that we could share each other's food, and that was mentioned. It's wonderful that we could participate in each other's culture. I'm glad that was mentioned. It's wonderful that we could share in each other's services to some extent. I'm glad that was mentioned. But my dream and your dream is that goes much deeper than just that sharing. It is true participation. It is true koinonia. It is true fellowship. And the only way we will get there is to understand the true meaning of God's love for all mankind. So I'm glad that you raised that matter of love. We must learn truly to love one another as he has loved us. be true ecumenism. What is the verb made out of that noun oikos? Ecu. Wow, wonderful. Let's make our nouns into verbs.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you all for asking these questions and making the comments. And we want to close now by asking the panelists to make a final comment so that they will round off, what they have said on and to resolve in our lives something that we can go with and really ponder. I can tell you, if we ever get to that superlative degree of becoming one, some of the things we have to give up. You may have to give up your school. We have to give up our high offices. These things are just signs. But one of the philosophical interpretation of the church's theology, the ecclesiology, is that the church is not the kingdom of God, but the church is only a sign of that kingdom. And it's Christina mentioned who Jesus was. Who really is Jesus? Jesus is the kind of Lord of couriers, not like the political Lord, but the Lord of love for people. And this is exactly what we want you to do with